Tonight, you wake at midnight again. You check the clock. Your heart tightens for no reason. You think, insomnia, a broken brain. But your body may be ancient, not defective. For millennia, nights were black and silent. No bulbs, no streetlights, no screens, no notifications. Humans slept in two phases. First sleep came early. Then people woke calmly. They talked softly. They prayed. They reflected. They even planned. After an hour, second sleep returned. Modern light erased this rhythm, so midnight waking feels like failure. You wake at 2 a.m. again tonight and stare at the ceiling. Your brain whispers, something is wrong. You reach for the clock beside your bed. You count the hours left until morning. You bargain with sleep, promising you'll fix everything tomorrow. Somehow, for real. You blame stress. You blame caffeine. You blame your broken brain and call it insomnia. Here's the shock. For most of human history, waking at midnight was normal. It wasn't treated as a disorder. It was built into the night. People had a name for it. The watch. They expected it. They didn't panic. They didn't doom scroll for answers. They lay quietly or stepped outside and listened. Then they went back to sleep, without forcing it. Two sleeps, not one long block. That rhythm is older than cities, older than streetlights, older than alarm clocks. Your body still remembers it. Modern life overwrote the signal with constant light and late routines. Artificial light stretches the evening past what biology expects. Screens tell your brain it's still daytime at night. So midnight waking feels like a malfunction and triggers fear. But it may be a leftover program from an older world. A built-in pause between two phases meant for calm thought and reset. In the next minutes, you'll see why it existed and what stole it. Imagine a night with zero light anywhere. No porch glow. No street lamps down the road. No phone screens in your hand. When the sun set, the world vanished. You couldn't see your own hand at all. That darkness wasn't cozy. It was lethal. Predators ruled it in silence everywhere. Our eyes were weak compared to theirs. Walking at night could mean death. So humans stayed still and quiet. They climbed trees or found cover. They huddled close and listened for movement. They waited for dawn, because dawn meant safety. Then fire changed everything for our ancestors at night. A small flame pushed darkness back. Not far, just enough to see faces. A campfire made a safety circle. Inside it, predators hesitated and kept distance. Outside it, you stayed alert and afraid. Fire also created extra hours after sunset. Hours after sunset, humans could still be awake. People sat together, shoulder to shoulder, around heat in the dark. They warmed hands and watched sparks rise. They talked in low voices and made plans. They shared stories about danger and heroes. They joked and argued, then laughed again. They planned tomorrow's hunt and the route. They learned who was trustworthy when fear was real. Only then did sleep arrive, late and uneven. It came earlier than modern life allows. And it wasn't one unbroken block of rest today. This is where the story gets weird. Before electric light, many people didn't sleep in one straight line. They slept in segments. Sleep scientists call it segmented sleep. Historians found old diaries and court records that mention first sleep. They also mention second sleep. That wasn't poetry. It was a common routine. People went to bed soon after dark. They slept about 4 hours. Then they woke, not because of fear, not because of anxiety, because their biology said, pause. For 1 or 2 hours, the home was awake in the darkness. Some prayed. Some talked softly with family. Some had sex. Some tended the fire or checked the animals outside. Some simply lay there and let thoughts drift like slow clouds. Then, without forcing anything, they fell asleep again. That was second sleep. This pattern shows up across countries, classes, and centuries. It was so normal that nobody called it a disorder. The middle of the night waking even had a name. The watch. It was a calm window between two rests, not a crisis. Modern life erased the window with light, alarms, and late schedules. We forced sleep into a single block, like a factory shift. So when you wake at 2 a.m., you feel like you failed. But in an older world, you would have waited peacefully for second sleep. Midnight wakefulness wasn't random. It had a built-in biology. After first sleep, your body is still in night mode. Heart rate stays lower than in the morning. Breathing slows and deepens, smooth. Your muscles stay loose, not ready for action. Your mind feels quieter than daytime, but strangely alert. Researchers saw prolactin rise in darkness during the gap. That hormone supports calm bonding and recovery. Many people reported a peaceful, meditative inner state, not anxious energy or frantic thinking. More like soft clarity with drifting thoughts. This is why the watch felt normal for most people. The house was dark and still, with no sudden noise. The village was silent, like everything was sleeping. Firelight flickered and warmed familiar faces. Outside, the world stayed dangerous and quiet. Inside, the mind could finally roam without demands. People prayed in whispers. People reflected on their lives. People replayed dreams in vivid detail. People planned tomorrow's hunt, work, and routes. Some wrote small notes or ideas. Some talked softly with family or neighbors. Some created stories from fear, wonder, and memory. The state was half awake and half dreaming, almost floating. It was a doorway to creativity and insight. It wasn't a disorder to them. It was expected. Modern light and schedules erased that doorway fast. So today, waking at 2 a.m. feels like failure. Electricity didn't just brighten our nights. It quietly redesigned the human sleep cycle. Streetlights made darkness feel unnecessary. Indoor bulbs pushed sunset into the evening. Then television arrived, and later the phone screen. Now light lives inches from your eyes. Blue glow tells your brain it is still day. Melatonin release gets delayed, sometimes by hours. Bedtime shifts later, but wake time stays fixed. That squeezes your first sleep into a smaller box. Industrial schedules trained bodies like machines. Clocks replaced sunsets as the master signal. Stress filled extra hours with pressure. Work messages follow people into the bedroom. Your nervous system never fully powers down, so the old two-phase rhythm can't unfold. The calm midnight watch becomes a problem to solve. You wake at 2 a.m. again and reach for the phone. The screen flashes, and your pupils tighten. Your heart rate rises as thoughts start sprinting. You check tomorrow. Bills, emails, deadlines. You scroll, hoping for relief, but feeding alertness. Caffeine helps you survive the morning after. Then, leftover caffeine circles back at night. Noise outside never truly stops in modern cities. Notifications ping like tiny alarms in the dark. Sleep becomes lighter, shorter, and more fragmented. And people blame themselves for a design conflict. But biology didn't evolve for constant illumination. It evolved for firelight, silence, darkness. It evolved for a long night with natural pauses. Those pauses allowed reflection, prayer, and dreaming. They also allowed hormones to shift into calm states. Modern light erases that doorway with brute force. So waking at midnight can feel like failure. Yet it may be your body quietly remembering older patterns. Not broken hardware, just outdated software expectations. Sometimes the cure is calm context. Give your brain darkness, and it often softens. Because you are not defective. You are ancient. So tonight, if you wake in the dark, don't panic. Don't reach for the screen like it's a life raft. Just notice the silence. Because that quiet gap may not be a glitch. It may be the oldest human rhythm you still carry. We traded the watch for a light switch. We gained endless nights. But we lost a hidden room inside the mind. And maybe the goal isn't to fix you. Maybe the goal is to remember what you are, ancien, and still learning how to sleep in a modern world.